hope your day's going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, I have some fun projects to share with you today. We're using the Simon Says Stamp card kit for February 2024. It's called Love Story, and it is so pretty, I have to tell you. Kits begin shipping. Today it's released over at Simon Says Stamp, and I'll leave a link down below if you want to head on over and get it. But they begin shipping on January 16th. But I'm going to share some projects using the kit. And first let's go over the kit contents really quickly, and then we'll jump in. Okay, I have everything outside of my box, outside of the bag, just to save a little bit of time. And the stamp set is so fun. It's kind of interactive. This is the Simon Says Stamp slider, camera, and typewriter 6x8 stamp set. Now, the camera and the typewriter, you have the photo frame here, and then you have the typewriter paper. And in our kit this month, we have a die set that will cut out the typewriter. And I believe it will cut out this piece will cut out the typewriter paper, and it will cut out the photo frame. I think they're both the same size. Now, if you want to just use a craft knife and cut a slit in the camera, you could have the photo coming out of the camera, which is really neat. All of your greetings coordinate with typewriter themes or camera themes, and I'm loving this. So neat. So that's our stamp set this month. It's actually pretty cool. Slider, camera, and typewriter. And then, of course, you get the two-piece coordinating die set. Now, you also get a package of simple stories, bits and pieces. I have bits and pieces. There's two packages that you could either get. One is the big bits, or the other one is the bits and pieces. They're both by Simple Story, and they both coordinate with our simple vintage 6x8 pattern papers in the kit this month. So this will coordinate with your pattern papers beautifully, which I am actually loving. I'll show you in just a minute. But you could get either, once more, the bits and pieces or the big bits. So I think they're both ephemera packs. It's just one has maybe smaller pieces and the other one has larger. I'm not sure. But you can see how they coordinate beautifully. So I have the bits and pieces. We'll be using this on our cards today, and then I'm going to share with you the pattern papers, which are so pretty. You get cut aparts, and look at this. You get the camera and then the typewriter keys to go with it. Oh my goodness, so neat. I'm going to show you one side. Look at all the cameras in here. Cameras, you get some vintage papers, some florals. This would be really pretty on the bottom half of a card. Happily ever after, or scrapbooking pages. You get butterflies. I think this is so pretty. The stamps, love that. Wish they made stamps like that. That would be really nice. I mean, they have some pretty stamps out there, but those are really nice. You get some books. Usually I don't go through all the pattern papers, but they are so gorgeous. These are little hearts, and then inside of them have typewritten paper. You get some more florals, some more cut aparts, and then you also get this large typewriter. And I love how it spells out love on that paper. This is the reverse side. I'm just going to thumb through them real quick. You get stripes, polka dots, damask. That's a real pretty damask pattern. Florals. Well, maybe I'll just show them to you because they are fun. Typewriter keys. Tickets. Tone on tones, stripes. So those are our pattern papers. Okay, we also get, these are some sparkly hearts. These are from Rainbow Splash. There's 4 different colors. They all coordinate with our papers beautifully. They're real pretty faceted. Get an embossing folder. This is the Cascading Hearts embossing folder. It's filled with hearts. You get this in the kit this month. And then you get some foil transfer sheets, and you also get some foil transfer cards. I recently created a card using this for Simon Says Stamp's Sweetheart release. I'll leave that video at the end if you want to check it out. But I used the XOXO on my card, and we get this in the kit this month. Let me open this up for you and show you. These are acetates that you could foil on, and I use my laminator for these, but you get 4 of those, And then this is called acetate hearts, and then you get some rose gold, 8 pieces of rose gold. Foil transfer sheets from Deco Foil and Simon Says Stamp. So you get a whole package of that. And it goes really well with this piece. This is a half sheet, 5.5 by 8.5 sheet of champagne matte 90-pound cardstock. It die cuts beautifully. You get this. Then you get 3 sheets of regular cardstock. Cotton candy from Simon Says Stamp. And then you get black from Simon Says Stamp. Both of these are 100 pound. And then this is Nina. This is called Natural White cardstock. It's 110 pound. It's great for card bases. This is not quite white, but it's not quite beige. Let me show you against my white cardstock. You can kind of see the difference, how it's kind of a vanilla-y, kind of creamy color white. But you get this in the kit this month also. And then you get your little sweet treat, and that is everything in the kit. I'm going to go ahead and put everything to the side, and we're going to start with our very first project. I trimmed down some pattern papers. I have a piece of vellum I brought in from my stash, and I also brought in one of my scalloped edged rectangles. I think this one is from My Favorite Things. And I thought we would mat one of the cut-aparts on here. First, what we're going to do is we took that champagne cardstock, and I'm going to take one of the cut-aparts. This actually, in my 6x8 sheet, had 4 of them. This is one of them. And then the other one is let me show you. And then we have one that's the stamps. And then we have another one that is the camera. We're going to actually use 3 of these on our cards today. A normal cut apart is 3x4, but I trimmed the left and right of this cut apart. Let me put it against the normal one and show you how much I trimmed. It was a little less than, maybe about 1/8 of an inch on the left and the right. I didn't trim any off the top and the bottom. I think this is going to work better on my panel. It's going to be more centered. Okay, so you want to trim a little bit off the left and the right, and then we're going to mat this on our champagne cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So this will leave me a little bit of a border. Okay, I might have to trim a little bit off the bottom here. I'm going to trim a little bit off the bottom. I just want a little bit of this peeking out. I want it to fit inside my stitched detail, on my scallop panel here. Okay, I'm going to pop this up with some foam tape. We're going to adhere this to that scalloped edge. I just think this adds a little daintiness to our card. And I like to see that stitch detail. Let me show you. After we have this matted on there, I have some butterflies, and I have 3 of them. These are all from our ephemera pack. We'll go one over here. Okay, now I have to tell you, if you don't have the butterflies that I have, what you could do is trim out some of the butterflies that coordinate here in our pattern paper. You could use this pink one here, the green one, you could use the yellow one. You could just fussy cut those out and use those instead, if you don't have the same ones as I do. I know there's 2 different kinds of ephemera packs that you could get. So with that being said, I'm going to take my vellum, and I want to add a little lightness to my butterflies. So I'm going to flip them around, and I'm going to lightly add some adhesive to the back side. I'm going to tack them down to my vellum, and I'm going to create an outline with the vellum. Let me show you. I'm just roughly going to use my scissors and create an outline for my butterflies. We're just going to add a little extra flutter, like so. Okay, I'm going to actually remove this, and then I'll flip this over. I'm going to add a small foam square right in the middle, and then we'll replace it on our vellum, and then we'll do a little fluffing with it. Just kind of creating a double layer. And then I want to take this and I'm going to place this in the existing where each one of the butterflies are on this panel. I'm going to do that with the rest of them. And I'll probably just add some tape here. Let's tack this down. You see how it adds just a little bit of softness? And I like that it overhangs on our panel a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing with these two. And we are causing a little extra flutter. Of course, if you mail this, it's going to flatten, but I love how soft this looks. Okay, now I trimmed down our Nina Natural White cardstock into 4 panels. We're going to use 1 panel on each one of our cards today. We're going to make 3 cards. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front of my card base. Okay, I have a panel of the butterfly cardstock. Or butterfly pattern paper. This measures 3 3/4 inches wide by 5 inches tall. I'm going to go ahead and layer this on my card base right in the middle. Okay, and then I have two pieces of our pattern papers. One's the polka dot, one's the damask. This is 1.5 inches wide by 6. I'm going to fishtail the bottom. If you have fishtail banner dies, you could do that. And I'll do the same thing to my yellow. I just want to bring in a little bit more pattern paper to our background. So I'm going to add some adhesive. And then I'm going to tuck this. Maybe we'll go straight down the middle with this. Like so. Okay, and then I put some tape behind this panel, and then this is going to go right in the middle, just so a little bit of that banner is peeking out from the bottom. You can't see much of that pattern paper, but I just love how soft this looks. We have our deco foil, and I'm going to take a piece of this and I'm going to use my glue and add some details to the butterfly. Technically, this is kind of hindsight. I thought about it after the fact, but I'm going to add some gold to the butterfly wings. So let me zoom in a little bit. What I'm going to do is add some glue just to the butterfly, just in some little spots. Okay, I'm going to flatten it a little bit with my hand. I'm going to let it dry just a little bit. I'm using my Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. I'm going to let that dry a little bit. And then I'm going to add some foil. Now I created a card using the acetate foil sheets. And I'll link that at the end of the video. But this is a different way to use the deco foil. I'm just going to press it down really good on those butterflies. And then I'm going to remove the foil here. And what this does, I'll show you. Just press it down really good. It does flatten it, but you see how it adds foil detail to your butterflies, and then you can fluff them up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to here. It's very easy to do, but it adds so much. And you could do this with scrap pieces. You could do this with leftover deco foil, but look how pretty this is. You see how it adds that extra foil, extra sparkle to there? And I'm going to add some little details on the edges too. So we just add a little, almost like you're distressing with foil. And then I'm just going to tap it. I don't want a big old bulky glue. If you tap it, it flattens the glue. It makes it dry faster. Okay? And you can, and you can see where it's been transferring. We'll add our foil here. Press down really good. And lift up. We'll do the same to the bottom. I love doing this. I'm going to keep this because we're going to do this again with our next card. Okay, after we have this done, I'm going to bring in, let's see, our gems that we have in our kit. Wonder if it would look, what it would look like if we put a gem in the middle of the butterflies. Maybe we'll do that. I think that looks pretty. I'm putting like the rose color in the center of our butterflies. Something a little different. I think I'm going to refluff up those wings. Huh, it looks very pretty. Okay, and then that will finish that card. For my next card, I mentioned the cut aparts. What we're going to do is, I'm going to take this piece, I'm going to trim it down, and I want to kind of create a pattern with this, with the stamps. So I'm going to kind of zigzag in and out. And I'm thinking that's going to work for me. Okay? Kind of creating a zigzag pattern. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that foil once more in my glue. And we're going to add some detail. And then while I'm at it, I'm going to add some glue to these ones too. I want to go around maybe this stamp here. And we'll go around this one with some glue. I like this one too. On this cut apart, I'm just going around all the areas of these 3 stamps that are the full stamp image. Okay, and then I'm going to bring back my foil sheet. This one you can just lay down right over the top. You can press down real good. Then you lift it up. Oh gosh, I just love the way this looks. Let me know if you, in the comments, if you guys have tried this, because this just creates so much detail. Okay, my sun is going down. I gotta turn my lights on. But look how pretty. This just creates so much shine and so much detail. Okay, and then we have this piece done. I'm going to go ahead and take my background panel, but this time instead of using it directly on my card base, we're going to take our embossing folder and we're going to emboss this. Let's go ahead and add our cardstock panel, and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. I'm going to use my scissors, and I'm going to cut away all 3 of these stamps. We're going to take our pattern paper, I'm going to place it right in the middle here, and then we have our larger stamps that I thought we would... I think I'm going to cut out a piece of vellum in a circle, and I'll be right back. Okay, I cut out a vellum circle here. I thought it would, maybe would soften this. I'm going to use my tape runner. We're going to add this right in the middle. And then we are going to add our stamps, kind of crisscrossing them. I think 3 is too many. I'm going to remove the release paper and we'll put this on the inside. I'm going to use the teal and the pink. Let's add this on the inside. Okay, and then for my greeting, okay, I went through my ephemera pack, and I have the one that says XOXO, and then I also brought in the little heart that are the typewriter keys. I'm going to pop these up with foam tape, and I'm going to replace the O's with the hearts for a little bit of dimension. Now I think I'm not going to use my sparkly hearts, but I am going to bring in my glossy accents, and I'm going to go over the hearts that are on the typewriter keys. Just for a little extra something. We already have extra sparkle because we put foil on our background. Just want a little extra dimension here. And then that will finish that card. Okay, for my next card, we are going to do a little stamping with the photo frame that's in our stamp set. I'm going to stamp it with my licorice ink. Licorice ink is like a dark, dark gray, almost a blackish. And I'm going to stamp here. Maybe we should do it twice. Now we'll go once. And I'm going to bring in my marker. This is BG11, and I'm just going to go over the photo frame with the teal. And then I'm going to go in with my BG15, and I'm just going to highlight a corner or two. Like so. I'll blend it together with my lightest once more. Okay, I'm going to take the greeting that says, "Hey, good looking." I just love that. I'm going to stamp it again with my licorice ink here, right in the middle. And then we're going to see if that die will cut this out. Let's see if it lines up here. I'm pretty sure it will. Let's see. I know it's probably meant for the paper, but let's see if it'll cut out the photo frame too. I'll be right back. And you know what? Speaking of the photo frame, I think Simon might have a coordinating die set that will cut out the instant camera. Maybe if I flipped it around. Yeah, you know what? It will, but I had it upside down. So it does cut it out, but make sure there's a little bit of a dip here in this top right corner. I'm going to show you. On the paper, you see this little bit of a dip. The photo frame has the same thing, that little bit of a dip. So just make sure when you cut it out that you're cutting it out there, not upside down. I cut mine upside down, but some of it's going to be tucked, so I'm just going to roll with this. Okay? For this card, we're going to make kind of like a collage card. So I went ahead and embossed the background panel using our embossing folder, using that same natural white cardstock. We're going to adhere this to our card base. Okay, we have our camera pattern paper I just fell in love with. I'm going to mat this on some white cardstock. This measures 3 1/4 inches wide by 4 1/2 inches tall. Let's use the tape runner to adhere this. And then I'm going to take my camera and I'm going to fussy cut this out. I have a blending tool that has black ink on it. I'm just going to go over the edges with it. After we have this done, I'm going to go ahead and take my strips of pattern paper. This is a 3/4 inch strip. I'm going to go at a diagonal, go just across here, actually kind of at a slight diagonal here, like so. And then I have some of that yellow cardstock. I'm going to do the same thing. Maybe we'll go like this is nice. And then I wanted to incorporate a little bit of that gold. So I have a 1/4 inch strip, and then this came from our die cut pack. If you don't have this in your die cut pack, your stamp set, you could stamp smile and hello and hey on a piece of white cardstock and maybe put the heart in between it to create the same look. I'm going to add some adhesive behind here, and then I'm going to tack this down to the gold so a little bit of that gold's peeking out. We'll trim away what's overhanging. So we have our smile, love, and dream. I'm going to trim away what's overhanging here and here. You see how it's just kind of crisscrossed almost? And then I'm going to pop up my camera with some foam tape. What I like to do is remove the release paper and kind of crisscross them. Then tack them down. And then I'm going to add foam tape. And I think we need something right here. So let's go through our die cuts. I think there's some hearts in here. Maybe let's see what else we have in here. There's a couple of hearts with some print in our die cut pack. I'm going to overlap these. And then I'm going to pop them up with some foam tape. Okay, I'm thinking it's looking really good. And I have my photo frame hanging over a little bit. I'm just going to trim that off. And I'm going to go back over it with that blending brush a little bit. Okay, and then that will finish off that card. We have some shine and some sparkle. And if you wanted to add some glossy accents, you could. Actually, let's do that. Let's add some glossy accents here over the lens of the photo frame. Okay. And we'll do this one too. The little flash. Okay. And then that will finish that card, my little collage card. Okay, let's take a look at all 3 cards that we made today with the Simon Says stamp, January 2024 card kit. Some fun cards that are great for Valentine's Day, but great for all occasions. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.